Hey, happy Friday to you, and welcome back to the Friday Funnies. Well, my friends, we have made it to the end of March. And the old adage is, March comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb. But with this year's weather, it looks like March is going out like cocaine lamb. And tomorrow, April Fool's Day, one of my favorite holidays. On this day, you can prank anybody, and if they object, all you have to say is, April Fool. As for me, if I have anything to sign tomorrow, any documents, I'm going to write the name George Santos. April Fool. And I'm also going to pull one of my favorite pranks involving rubber dog poop. I like to walk into a store or a restaurant with the faux feces in my hands and say, hey, look what I almost stepped in outside. Donald Trump didn't get arrested again this week, and he claimed that he is now both the most innocent man in history and that he feels like Elvis. Donald, please say April Fool so you don't appear to be daffier than a cocaine lamb. Now, enjoy the funnies. Have you ever been on a crowded airplane in the middle seat and coach for an 8-hour flight? Trust me, it's one of Dante's levels of hell. Daniel Bacon was on such a flight from Miami to London, and he was seated next to a passenger who was, shall we say, overly flatulent. The other passenger, he was cutting cheese in a variety of scents, and it got to the point where Daniel just couldn't stand any more gas attacks. So he snuck into business class and curled up in an empty seat. Well, a flight attendant noticed this trespasser and told him to please return to his coach seat. Danny said he'd pay for the seat, but he was told return to coach. This is when he went nuts and started swinging and spitting and swearing to the point that the pilot had to turn the plane around. So what have we learned from this story? We learned that on an airplane, farts are deadly and can turn a regular person into a raging maniac. So please, when you're on board, give a hoot, try not to toot. In Hagerstown, West Virginia, Derek Bowers is a 41-year-old man who now faces 5 years in prison for calling and texting his ex-girlfriend. The bad part was that he did it 815 times in a 48-hour period. I did the math. That averages out to one call or text every 3.5 minutes for 2 days. I'd like to know, when did this man sleep? Granted, he has some harassment issues, but he can work that out in prison. And when he gets out, with his skills, he can become a first-rate telemarketer. In Amsterdam, a company makes cultured meat, which is making meat with a chemistry set. Well, this week they unveiled a giant meatball that was created in the lab using sheep cells and a single gene from the extinct woolly mammoth. Now they have a meatball the size of a 16-inch softball that tastes like mammoth and is served with mint jelly. This adds a whole new option for the paleo diet. Personally, I have never wondered what mammoth tasted like, and I'm not in a big hurry to find out. But when tasted by a local gourmet, it was reported that mammoth tastes just like prehistoric chicken. Hey, that's it for another week, my friends. Have a wonderful weekend. Listen to my podcast, Another Day Above Ground. And remember, tomorrow is April Fool's Day. So look what I almost stepped in. See you next Friday.